Now, yeah, hello, 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 hello. I think it's a bit low. Um, Properties. How do I set it up? Oh, here it is. Uh, +4. Hello? Is that +4? Yes, it is. Okay, I think it's recording now. Oh, let me see. Okay, seems fine. Alright, so this time I'm going to continue with the grabs or throws or however you want to call it. So for my purposes here and for the new guys, I'm just going to work with other grabs that are already in the base game. I already showed you how to work with animation down stuff and how to get capture states. So maybe you have seen it and you understood that it's a bit complicated or a bit more than usual stuff. So if you want to not get too much into that for now, if you're new, you can just, at least for the grabs, because it's common that you're gonna need a lot of work to make a new one. So if you want to use from the base cast, that's fine. I mean, it's up to you. So for me now, I'm just going to show you how to take them and add them to your character. Let's see. So first of all, I mean, I could just take Ryu's, but let's take from different characters. I mean, I can use Frank forward grab, which is pretty much the same as Ryu, but a tiny bit different. As you can see, should be the same in there, right? Yeah. So I might use this one. For back grab, I was thinking maybe this one. I could change a bit Iron Fist attack, but let me see if that will work. And in the air, that may be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Back grabs from Iron Fist and forward from this guy, Frank West. So let's check them out. Let me just throw this away. So first of all, let me take the required files or the entries. In this case will be, let's start with Frank West. You can get into the pattern file, animchar, and here you will see, let's start with one. So I can search for, it's commonly in the same place. I believe it's for every character. Should be in the 104 entry. And as you can see, we have standing forward grab, standing back grab, air forward, and back grab. So I'm just going to take these two, export them, and being a capture state, I also need from the animation down. So let's search for that. Cast Frank. animation down. Should be here, 12C and 12E. Okay, so for that, as you can see, if it says cinematic, it's from the animation down. So let's export this one and export the arrow, forward grab. Those are the one I'm going to use. So what I'm going to do now is just import them. Let me see. Let me start with these ones. I'm going to import. This is standing forward grab, and this is air forward grab. So I'm not going to change anything from here, because I just want to take as it is the grab. And just let me confirm that I'm recording. It seems right. Okay. Let me just get into my channel. Live. Cool. Okay, we have it. And let me silence that. That's silenced. Okay. So this is an char. I don't care for now. So let's add the next part. That should be animation down. Oops. Here. Let's search for standing forward cinematic, import standing cinematic standing forward, and the air one. There you go. So functionalities are there, but what I need to check is the animation for each one. So let's try to understand what this entry is doing. First of all, there should be a play animation. It's at 1C8. I know that is LMT1, and C8 should be around 200, maybe. Let me check for that. I need to search for Frank ID. So I can go to my modding notes. I can get into game IDs. Should be 9 if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is 9. So I can type 209. Animations are in the CMN file. And LMT1. Okay, let me just confirm that C8 is, I believe it's 200. Yes, it is. That's common for most characters. Not every character have the same animation in the same position. But in this case, it's the same. So I'm just going to take that. Should be 200. Let me save it at 1, 200, forward, grab. And check if you have another animation. No, that seems the only one. Let's search for the next one. Play animation, there's one here. And if I'm not wrong, should be D2 should be 210. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to extract that. 110. Forward, air, grab. And now, also, well, that's for my character. But what about the opponent? So I can search for it in the animation down. So here it's using 2. This is LMT2 and number 0. So until now we just use 0 and 1, which 0 are, it stores the common animations like walking forward, jumping, idle and stuff. Then the number 1 has the attack animations and actions, like common actions. And in this case, the LMT2 has the capture animations. So the opponent is going to check for things in LMT2. In this case, it's using 2-0. Let me see if it has another one. It seems not. So let's take LMT20. It's going to be 2-0 forward grab. And the next one is 228. Wow. So let's search what's 28. Oh. That's 40. So let's search for animation at 40. Extract 240. It's air. Forward grab. And that's it. So before I add everything, let's see what's Hideo is doing. So by now I should have Doctor Strange grabs. So let me just confirm that. Yep. That's okay. All right. And the last one. Yes. Back grab. So let's just change everything. Let's start with the animations. I'm going to open my character's CMN, and here the first thing I'm going to do is to replace the animations. I need 200, 210, 20, and 240. So 210 keyframes, 210, then 200. Oh, did I save it elsewhere? Okay, 20, 110. I think I saved it elsewhere or did something. Here it is. Because I have a duplicated space. There you go. So that's 200, right? Just let me confirm. It's 200. Nice. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to replace the 0 and 40. There you go. Now let's work with whatever I did here. Remember, for now, I'm just replacing with another character's grab. I'm not messing with anything else. Let me save it and animation down. Oh, sorry, let me save this. That's fine. And I'm going to open the param. Hideo param. I'm just replacing animation jar and animation down. That should be enough. Let's see how it looks. We have the first one. It's works for this character. And it seems fine. But the thing with with throws, grabs, and capture states. There's commonly a thing or an issue with Amaterasu or Amaterasu. So let me see if I have it here. Yes. As you can see, it's still working with the one from Doctor Strange. But why is that? Let's go to the root of the problem. So to get a throw or a command or a grab, you do it by pressing forward or backward with H. So it could be standing H. I don't think crouching H has that. Okay, no. It's only standing H and jumping H. So to check for the throw, it's commonly at frame 0. As you can see, we have a throw hitbox. And it's looking for an entry here. In this case, okay. There's also a thing here. Let me just show you directly in the modeling notes. So 194, 94 or A? Okay, 198. 1_9A. So as you can see, we have 2 attack info entries and the attack collision. What's happening here? Because I have, or Doctor Strange has a forward H attack, in this case a 6H, should be this one. If you don't know, again, you can search in the animation jar. Doctor Strange, impact palm is B0. Yes, this should be impact palm. Since you perform that action by doing the motion of forward H, you will get a throw hitbox. So that's 5A. That's okay. So I can search for that in my attack information. Okay, as you can see, we have here the throw entries. It's 1 frame active and it starts at the moment. It's instant at the first frame. So that's fine. I don't care about anything else. But if you remember, we have these capture states references where if we check 11:0 is the standing forward one. Forward throw. Yes. And the air throw should be 11:2. Should be this one. Yes. But for most of the characters, and since Amaterasu has a unique body, since she's a dog or a wolf, you can see that here we have a throw modifier. Here is looking for its own entry. And for that, it's commonly to get them in this at these places. So 11:30, 31, 32, and 33. So for that, I'll check if Frank West has its own entries for that. So let me just check. But since it's only for Amaterasu, it should be my opponent, of course. So that should be in the animation down. And as you can see, these last ones are the Amaterasu entries references. It's here. 12:30, which is 14A. Okay, I need both standing forward and air forward grab. So let me just export that. And the thing with this is that they commonly use base animations because commonly all of the characters or most characters share get hit animations. So whenever you hit a character, they will perform the same action. But Amaterasu has her own animations, and because the custom animation that we're adding will be different for her, we or the game commonly use base animations for her. As you can see, it's using 0 and AC instead of the other ones. In this case, it's air forward. If you remember, that was 240 if I'm not wrong. Yes. And every other animation that we find here should be the same. But for us, this will work. So okay, the only thing I need to do is to replace those entries in my character. Doctor Strange has those reference too, so I'm just going to import them here. 140A and 140C. That should be enough. Let me replace that and check what happens now. There you go. Now that works fine. Now, so that's forward grab. I need to do the same with the backwards. I may or I may not encounter an issue with this. But let's see. So I was about to use Iron Fist, right? Let's search for it. So I'm going to clean my desktop. I'm going to clean this. And then what I'm going to check is for Iron Fist. Okay, Iron Fist should be 49, 48. Let me check. 48. So I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to open archive 0048. I'm going to search for the animations. So before that, I'm going to copy the entries. So Iron Fist, Iron F. Okay. So I need back grab and air back grab. And I need the animation down entries also. So I'll type it, Iron Fist. As you can see here, or by just watching the last entries, I'm a bit sure that he uses some specific entries for Amaterasu. I'm just going to export them because I may use them. And I'll take the basic ones. Cinematic air grab and the standing back one. Okay. We have what we need. I'm just going to do the same. Going to replace this. This is 14B. Import 14D. Import cinematic stand back, this one, and cinematic air grab. There you go. Save. Now for my characters here, standing back grab and air back grab. And also this requires animations, so 1C9 should be 1, right? Yes. Let's see if I need other ones. It seems not. What about this? 1D3, this was 1D2. Okay, know that this is 41. Okay, so let's get them. This is Iron Fist. I need 201. Extract the animation keyframes. And 211. 211. Back grab, back air grab. And for the 2, the LMT2, I'm going to use 1. Let me just check. That's fine. And 41. Okay, let's replace those in my character. 4 should be 21. 41. Save it. And 201. And 211. Here. 211. Okay, hopefully everything goes well. Let me just check. Replace animation jar and replace animation down. So back grab is okay. Okay, here's the issue. I'm going to explain that, but let me see. This looks kind of fine. But there's an issue here, and that's very common. Let me just take this guy again. So this issue exists because when you export an animation directly, let me just show you how it should look. So we already confirmed that it works fine with Amateras, but for the other guys, it won't work as expected. So check. It goes there and get you to the other side. But if you do it with your new character using the exported animation, it may do this. Why? Because there's some rotation issue whenever you export these animations that rotates the character for these actions. Why? I don't know. That's how it is. So if you want to do something about that, you'll need to check the animation as we've done with capture states. We need to check the animation inside. In my example, it was with Blender. We need to check where do we want to position our character and our opponent, and then we need to rotate our character. But for this purpose, and if you don't want to do that for now, if you want to get a working grab, and since the issue comes from exporting the YML file for the animation, that file is what we load into Blender and check the animation stuff. So to prevent that, instead of exporting the animation, what I'm going to do is export the M3A file. So when we do extract animation keyframes, we're taking the information from the M3A file and convert it to YML. But we can just export directly this file. Let's put it here. And 41. And we cannot work directly with the importer in our 3D environment tool. But what we can do is just replace the file here. Instead, if we are not going to modify anything from the animation, you can just take that animation instead, that M3A file, and import it there. Replace it. Sorry, I was trying to import the animation file. So replace 41. And let's see if this works, because I don't really know this is a guaranteed result, but let's see. Yeah. This is kind of fine, but the back one. Let me check. Oh, I have an issue here because I replaced the wrong ones. Did I? This is Hideo. Okay, let me try again. Import. Sorry. Hopefully I did not break anything. Let me just import this one. And 41. Replace. It seems to be fine. Oh yeah, look at that. I replaced from the LMT1. So I'll have to add it again. And that works now. Okay. That's fine. Let me search for the next one. Okay. So that solved it. So just let me replace this because it's silly. So I replaced the one. Keyframes. Let's search for 01. And do I have one at 41? Let me just check. Import 140. I don't have anything, or I'm not using anything at 41. Last one I worked with was 38. So that should be fine. I'm gonna just save it again. And there you go. That's solved. And there you go, we have our grabs. That's fine. That's fine. I would love to modify that last one, but we will see. But the functionality is there. Again, it will depend on you if you really want to add more hours to that. Remember, you can always polish stuff. And I think with that, we just finished every functionality for Hideo. This is all I wanted to add to the character. And now I can start polishing. And of course, now that you know about, well, on the previous video, we talked about capture states, like in this case for this hyper. If you learn about that, you may be able to understand how grab works. And you can get even more hypers. For example, it's commonly that level 3 hypers are capture states. Not everything, not everyone, but they may be. And you can, for example, I have this. This is a capture state. That's level 3. So if you want to get into that, I'm just pretty much using the same base as capture state for my level 1, but I'm removing DHC flag, which is a special state during the capture. It's here. I'm just, as you can see, there's a difference here. Just is reducing or removing you 3 bars, and it's playing a different sound at the beginning. You can hear it here. That sound indicates it's a level 1, and for level 3 it sounds different. But the base is pretty much the same. So just let me confirm something. Yeah, I can DHC from it. And that's fine, because it's a level 3. Okay. We also learned before that we can now add special effects to our characters. Remember the EFLs. We learned how to modify the size of a projectile through the EFL. And we learn how to work around most things like damage, like velocity, recovery from the air, adding, for example, that effect when you get hit. And I'm pretty sure that with this we can start cleaning up the character. So that's a bit tedious, but that's the thing that I enjoy the most, because I can start creating or searching for new routes, checking the character how how to get my opponent in the place I want. But the next part will require like a lot of repetitive job, so I don't think that requires me to explain that again. So the next time I record that, I'll be just working over it. But I'll be doing that on stream, so if you have any question, please send it and I'll try to explain it again. I want to change some things here. The behavior on that attack. And oh well, yeah, I think I forgot something important. So before we get into gameplay stuff, let's just change the intro and outro, and also the taunt, because I don't want to keep that. So that should be easy. I'm just going to close this. This is Iron Fist. I don't want this. Hideo. Okay. So with intros and out, let's start with the intro. That should be around here. There you go. Intros point, intros assist, assist to intro partner exit. Okay. So the thing here, the only thing that I don't want to get, maybe for example, I don't want this sound effect. Remember, it starts with 4, so this is a sound effect from common file. I'm going to delete that. I don't need these specific standard effects. I don't need to play a weapon prop. The animation is commonly 160 if I'm not wrong. Let me just search for that. A0. Yes, it's 160. So let me start renaming those. So intro will be 160. This is important. Try not to mess with this for now, because this dictates the text and the sound effect or the voice line that is going to play depending on the character. We're going to get there later when I have the voice files for Hideo. But for now, don't move it. If you don't want your character to start talking or saying something for now, you can always disable it. I'm going to disable it for now because I don't have the voice files. But do not delete it. Try not to delete it. Unless you really know what you're doing. So I'm just going to disable that. This is another effect to play. I don't need this. Standard effect and weapon prop spawn. This is to remove it. I don't need that. Another standard effect. Enable. This is to end if I'm not wrong. So let me just check my animation. How many frames do I have? $160. Where is it? Intro. It's going to take a little bit because there are a lot of frames to work with. So there you go. Here's our intro. So that's 173. Let's do that. 173. 172. Sorry, 173. This is going to be 172 and 173. Okay, so the intro assist should be the same as this one. The only thing that it doesn't have, or the only thing that it lacks, is the voice event and text event. So for that, I'm going to remove pretty much everything else, as I did with the previous one. And to be sure, I could just copy this and add it here, but just to be sure, I'm going to do it manually. I don't want this, I don't want this, and I don't want this. And yes, all other thing that it is not here is the go to animation script, because instead of going to the idle, it's going to get into the partner exit. So this is 172. Let's do it again. Just remove the weapon prop. Remove everything here. I don't want the sound. I don't want anything here. Nor here. 172. That's it. Now for the partner exit. This is a jumping outside of the screen animation, so that's fine. I know because it's a 0. It's from the LMT 0. So I'm not going to mess with that. This is Y physics, summon child, character vanish. Okay, this is fine. So let's just save it. And I'm going to replace at 160. It's going to take a bit because there are a lot of frames there. Okay. I forgot to replace my animation char. Okay, as you can see, the animation works. Let me just make the character come forward. Okay. Okay, that's working. I have my intro done. It has a little bit of a jump there, but I'll be working with that later. In fact, let me just check. Because if I'm not wrong, let me import my idle. Yes, it's in the wrong place. So instead of being there, let me just set this. I'm just going to rotate this a bit. Like that. What I don't know is that yeah, it's rotating. I could just okay, let's just keep it like that. I want to keep my rotation here a bit, and then this should come here. It should look a bit better. Yes. Mm, 160. Meanwhile, I can work with my Taunt. So I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to remove whatever I don't really need. Character class commands. If I'm not wrong, these are used for Doctor Strange has the property of a specific taunt for females. Yes, as you can see, I have this, so I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to keep one animation. I'm not going to change the face. This is A3. Okay. This is play sound. This is specific for the character class. I don't want that. .98. Again. More class commands. And that's it. Okay, now this is done. And let me check my Taunt, how many frames it has. So, if I'm not wrong, that should be around 200. It may be too much, but yeah, it's a Taunt. I think it's fine. 184. Okay. 184. And I can keep this phrase at frame 2. The only thing that it's doing is that you cannot do anything else, or you're just saying just complete the entry until the animation is done. The animation is 184 frames, 85. But that's it. Okay. Let's update this. Replace again my 160. And A3 should be 64, right? Oh no, 63. Really? Oh yeah, because it's 160. Okay. So Taunt will be 163 Taunt. That's it. The other one is added by now. I'm just going to add my Taunt. 163. Okay. Did I update this? I'll just do it again to be sure. Okay, let me check again the intro. Yeah, that's better. And my Taunt is like that. Ah. Okay, there's something wrong with that. So what did I do? Okay, I believe since I'm just using this free script until the animation is complete, I can just keep it at frame 3 if I'm not wrong. And just to be sure, I'm going to check another character. For example, Taunt. No. Let me just confirm with the same base character, which is Doctor Strange. Yes, I can just leave it at the same frame. Since it's freezing, this makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna save that and let's work with the victory. For victory, character vanish, rotate. Okay, that's fine. This is 64. This is 64, which means it's from the common file. So this is a special effect. I don't want that. Just let me confirm again with other characters. So cast Ryu. In this case, I believe Ryu doesn't have anything specific for his victory pose. Yes, I don't need that. So let's start removing things. Character class, standard effect. This is fine. This is part of the outro. Double relative to map. Again, this is for the text and the sound effect, the voice line. I'm going to disable that. And we have this, which is an effect. I don't need it. Same for this. I don't need it. Another effect. Ground dust. Yeah, that's the magic circle if I'm not wrong. Another effect. Character vanish. Oh, just let me check. Yes, because if I'm not wrong, strange tends to live. Just let me check. Do I need that? I don't think I need that. So I'm just going to remove the character vanish. And the animation script. I don't need this. Rotate stage. And my outro. I don't know how many frames do I have. Like 180. Okay, 208. That's 208. This one should be 208. This is A1, right? That's 161. So outro 161 outro. Correct. And let's replace this correctly. Let's add the animation. 161. Okay. But to check that, let me see. Let me see if the Taunt thing is solved. Yeah, that's fine. But for the outro, I require another controller that I don't have with me right now. Let's try with arcade. But that will crash my game. Because I'm not done with the UI and it requires some specific stuff. Hey, I don't know. I don't really know how to call you, but see what I'm going to call you. See what fully playable start at the end of the month. Well, as I said before, I have every functionality done for him. All of the tags that I wanted to add. So later tonight I'm going to start cleaning his stuff. And that will be quicker because I'll be working pretty much with everything I've shown. And it's just about twitching some numbers. So let's see how the outro looks. I think I have a controller. But yeah, okay. Let's crash the game. Okay, we have the intro. Let's see the taunt. That's fine, okay. Okay. Just confirming things. Ah, we got a counter. Oh, okay. Okay. That's fine because the issue now is that it has Doctor Strange cameras. And now it's going to crash the game. Correct, because I don't have this prepared for now. But that's fine. Now, let's work with those cameras. I'm just going to save this. And I'm going to reduce it like, I don't know, for the victory. Yeah, let's just keep it like that. So I'm going to clean this because I like to have my desktop clean. And now, what do I need? Okay, I want to work with other cameras. The common or the most basic one is from Rio. Let me think, which one could I use? Because my animation starts there. I could take the cameras from any character. Maybe Taskmaster? Let's use it. Let's use that. So the camera file is in the common file. So first let me check for his ID. Taskmaster should be 30 something, right? No, 20 something. 32. Okay, 0032. Let me just show you before that. So first of all, this camera, this super camera, my character is mostly on the right. For the next one, my character is far below. And for this one, I can barely see him. So let's change the cameras. So I can search here in the other character folder is the name, and then we have this camera file. In this camera file, we have all the super cameras and the outro camera. Well, not all the super cameras, because some characters, for example Ryu, let me just export this first. Ryu uses some extra camera stuff. And there are other characters that use them too. Here, as you can see, we have the camera and we have file 0, 1, 2, 3. That will depend on the character. And if I'm not wrong, or at least I don't really know how to work them, because this is pretty much hex values. We have a lot of hex values here. And I don't really know how to work with this. I don't know if it's even possible to work directly with that. Has several colors because his Legion arrow has 3 different versions. Yeah, that's good too. Hey Yoshi. So yeah, I'm just going to replace my camera and see how this changes. So we have, alright, that looks kinda okay. Let's see the next one. That's okay. And this one is not even visible. Okay. And yeah, there should be that one. Okay, let's start just modifying some values to see the cameras. That's kinda okay. I could use that one for this. So let's just replace that. So if I'm not wrong, this is number 1 and the air should be number 2. So let's swap that. So this is number 2 super camera and this should be number 1. Let's say number 3 just to check, and in level 3 number 0 and see what happens. Yeah, it was a good thing that I worked with I'm using Taskmaster cameras. So let's check how this looks now. That's fine. It's a bit far behind. This is too low. This one's fine. So I'm going to keep that. Let's see. Oh, it's almost there. Okay, that's kind of okay. For this one, okay. I don't like this one, but let me show you just a little trick that I do with this, because again, I don't know how to work with that camera file. But I have the option to work with the animation during the camera flash. So Let me start with the first one. I'm going to keep the Shin Jichoken. What I'm going to do is to move my character a bit far behind. Maybe I could leave it, but let me see. Nah, I'm going to move him a bit to the left and a bit to the back. So let me show you. Let's get into the mid Shinsei Haken, mid Shinji Choken. So at this point, he's somewhere around here. So from frame 20, let me check. Okay, so it's around here. What I like to do is to take my joint 2, just add one keyframe here, and here is going to start doing this part somewhere around here. I'm just going to copy this frame, but here I'm gonna wait like 10 frames around, moving a little back. Sorry, this is wrong. This is how it looks in the camera, so I'm just going to take him a little back here. Then around here. And see if something changes. It's 100 Mint Shinji Choken. Let's call it mod. Sorry, that was 104. Yes, let's just wait. Okay, I have it now. 104 mod. And check how it looks. Maybe it was too far behind. So instead of just going this far, I'm just going to keep this again. Take him a bit like here. It may be too much, I don't know. But let's see if this changes something. If this changes something. Okay, 104. Okay, that's a bit better. I'm gonna just take him a little bit far behind, because I like that zoom out. So a little back, a little more here, like a tiny bit. Export. Again, let's just wait. That's it. Okay. 104. Where is it? Good for mod. Let's check it again. Yeah, that's fine. Let me just check these other ones to have as reference. Okay. I may not need him to go that to the left, that much to the left. And just take him a little bit too. Not there. And let's check. But by now, I'm kind of fine with this. So 104. Yeah, that's a bit fine. But he may be too close. That's okay. Let's go to the next one. The next one's quarter circle back. This is okay. I'm not going to move anything from here. However, in the air version, it looks weird. Let me just check if I did something wrong here. So this is using the number 2. I could use 1 again. And check how it looks. Yeah, that's fine. And then for the level 3, I'm sure I need to modify this a bit. Yes, I'm just going to take him back. So let's do that. Import. This is Asura. Yes, again, I'm gonna just move it from here. I wanna copy this position. And in the next one, I'm gonna take him a bit back. Just to check. I think I don't have. There you go. That's the same. Let's try that. This is 120 mid mod. I'm waiting for this. Okay. 120 mod. Maybe it was too much. Let's just check again. I mean, the position is kind of fine, but he went a bit too far to the left. So I'm just going to move him around here. And a bit closer. And a bit down. Let's just check. I'm going to update that. Okay, this is done. 120, 120. Mod. Let's try again. That went a bit too. I mean, may need to move him a little bit more here. Export that. Hey, acá. Llévale esto, por favor. Okay, that's it. 120. Oh, kinda. Maybe I could just take him down. Let's see if I can suck. Take him down a bit. And since he's like at this position, exactly centered, I'm just going to. It's like if he's around here, right? Give me a moment.
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Welcome to the world of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where the finest heroes assemble. Get ready for the fight of your life. The Daily Bugle. Who will come out on top? Go for broke. Fight! First attack! Impact Grace of Haga! Cool! Impact! Air combo! Light magic! Down! Yes! I have shamed you! Flames of the Fall Team! Impact! Flames of the Fall Team! Grace of Haga! Great! Danger! Flames of the Fall Team! Flames of the Fall Team! Flames of the Fall Team! Level 3 air combo! Danger! Air KO! You win! Flames of the Fall Team!
You